of ArtPrize 7. You have until midnight tonight to cast your votes. The winners will be announced tomorrow night. Our coverage of the awards show begins at 7 o'clock.
$500,000 will be handed out during the ArtPrize Awards tomorrow. One entry going after the big money is sparking a lot of conversation.
The Last Supper made the jurors' shortlist in the 3D category, and 24-hour News 8's Ellen Baca spoke to the artist who created the exhibit to spark conversation about capital punishment. Ellen?
That's right. When you think of an art exhibit called The Last Supper, most people would likely envision the great painting by Leonardo da Vinci depicting Jesus and the disciples. But in this Last Supper installation, an ArtPrize this year by Julie Green, there are hundreds and hundreds of plates. On each plate is painted a final meal requested by an inmate on death row. And as visitors walk down the rows of plates, they get a glimpse of what it's like to be an inmate before walking down death row itself.
Which one? That one?
In Kendall College of Art and Design,
These ones are all square.
is a large room filled with small plates.
It just looks like plates. I thought it was just plates with food on it.
On each dish
Mac and cheese and rice-a-roni.
is a meal.
Pizza and hamburger and french fries.
This exhibit is called The Last Supper. Each plate represents a real person and the actual meal they ordered and ate
Ice cream.
before their final walk down death row.
Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Rancher. Just a bag of Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers over here.
Oh, this is the guy that never had the birthday cake.
Bless his heart.
There are 600 plates in the exhibit.
A burger.
Julie Green is the artist. She first noticed final meals when she lived in Oklahoma.
I read them in the newspaper. Sometimes there were several a week. And that's how I first found out about final meals.
Green purposely left out two things: the names of the inmates and the crimes they were accused.
Who knows what happened.
Only included were the meal, the date, and the state.
And those meals humanized death row for me. I realized we all have food in common.
Peaches is this man in Georgia.
You're not allowed to have steak in Texas? Steak denied in Texas. Do any of the Texas ones have steak on them?
Green says the point of the plates
This is a very dark exhibit.
is to spark conversation about capital punishment.
Ask that the menu of last meal not be released to the media. IQ of 61.
And we kill people with IQs of 61?
These are all 2012. These are very recent.
It just seems like such a inhumanity to a supposedly civilized culture, you know?
What would your last meal be? I don't know. To me, that question is not the point.
In addition to the 600 final meals, there are also 2 first meals eaten by people that were exonerated, their first meal outside of prison. And Green says she plans on continuing to add 50 plates a year until capital punishment is abolished. So interesting there.
Yeah, she wants to start that conversation,
Right.
but some viewers may wonder, what about the victims? What about their last meal?
And that's the conversation that has been started. In response to that, she said that that plate represents not just the inmate, but the victims attached to it too. That plate with that picture of the final meal represents the entire story.
Interesting. Okay. Ellen, thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.